The Detroit Pistons are one of 5 teams interested in trading for Caris Levert. I'm surprised. Aren't you? I mean, we've been linked to him before in the past, but with everything the Pistons have on this team, would it make sense for them to trade for Caris Levert?
I mean, it makes sense if they're still interested. I mean, if we're talking about a trade package, you're proud because the Cavs want to compete for the playoffs. They want to have a deep playoff run because they have a very good team. Um, I think if you're looking at a trade package for people watching, I think you're talking Alec Burks because I think that's what would kind of move the needle. Now, Levert is on the last year of his contract, so it would definitely be a rental. But if the Pistons are, really interested in Levert and they think that they're going to have some major competition, they'll probably make this trade. But if not, he's a free agent. You can get him this summer.
I mean, the only reason really you make this trade is to get the money off the books, right? To make a bigger play for someone in the offseason. I don't think Caris Levert, if they were traded, he'd be a part of the future though, right?
I mean, he could be your 2 guard of the future if you wanted him to be, or it could be your 3 because he's kind of interchangeable between the 2 and the 3. You also have to take into account the people that went to the University of Michigan that are on the staff.
This is true.
From front office people that, not a lot of people know about to John Beilein. And I mean, John Beilein has a very good relationship with all his former players. I mean, your boy Isaiah Livers, we drafted him. He went to Michigan.
Yep.
He coached Caris Levert. I mean, there is, I think this is a rumor that I would kind of be afraid of if I was a Piston fan, because I think it's more than a rumor. I think there is some truth to it. I think there's definitely some interest from the Piston side on it. It's not the first time I've heard it either. It's probably like the 5th time I've heard it over the last year.
Yeah, I just don't want this. Like a couple seasons ago, I wanted Caris Levert in Detroit. Like I thought he was a nice building block. I thought he was a decent player. I thought there was something more to his game than there. The thing that scares me the most about Caris Levert, very talented player, just he's always injured though. Like that's the biggest problem. And I mean, I would rather have Alec Burke on my team. I would rather go with him. I think he's a better shooter. I think he's better at getting to the free throw line. He's just a better vet. And it seems like he's available. Early on, Alec Burke wasn't available. He dealt with some injuries early on in his career. But as of recently, like he's been a pretty healthy guy. So, I mean, I would hope the Pistons pass on Caris Levert. It's just he's just injury prone. I don't need him. I don't know. I think like Alex Burke just kind of fits into the mold of what they're doing too. He can, I just think Caris Levert, it might sound stupid for me to say this, but I think he just kind of needs the ball in his hands a little bit more than Alec Burke does. Alex Burke can play off the ball a little bit better because he is a better shooter. So I would rather have that than Caris Levert.
Yeah, I just fear with all the the Michigan ties that they might pull the trigger on it, but hopefully they don't. Like I said, I've kind of got a lot of flack for it for like shooting guard talk, and I know Jaden Ivey does play shooting guard, and I know he's a player that kind of plays in between that combo guard, but I think ultimately the Pistons want to use him as a shooting guard.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a world where, you could have Jaden Ivey and Caris Levert on the same court together. You could. I mean, you could literally have, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Caris Levert, Bojan, and Duran. Like, there's a world where that works, but there's also a world where, maybe the Pistons want to, keep an Alec Burks on this team because they see more value of him being on the bench and being one of the best bench scorers in the NBA. But my only thing is I just kind of fear like the Michigan ties with him. Like if he didn't go to Michigan, then I wouldn't be, worried about it. But that's my only fear is just the relationship that he does have with Beilein and other guys that do work in the front office that went to the University of Michigan that make front office decisions.